What if I told you the first signs of Parkinson's disease aren't the tremors you see on TV or the stiffness everyone talks about? What if they are quiet, almost invisible, and slip past even the most observant eyes? By the time most people notice, the disease has been silently reshaping the nervous system for years. Henry Lawson, 52, a history professor with a love for late-night research and stubborn independence, began noticing tiny changes in his body that he couldn't explain. At first, it was his handwriting. Slightly smaller, tighter, almost cramped. He dismissed it as fatigue, long hours at the desk, or poor lighting. But in reality, this micrographia was one of the earliest signs of Parkinson's, reflecting subtle changes in fine motor control. A few months later, Henry realized his sense of smell had begun to fade. Morning coffee smelled faint, rain-soaked soil didn't register, even the aroma of fresh bread seemed dulled. Doctors often overlook this loss of smell, yet research shows that olfactory changes can appear years before tremors, making it one of the most important early warning signs. Then came stiffness. His right shoulder felt tight after hours of lecturing, and his movement seemed a fraction slower than before. This rigidity is a classic early symptom, signaling that the muscles are resisting motion because dopamine-producing neurons are already declining. Friends joked about getting old, but Henry knew something deeper was happening. And then, subtle tremors appeared. Not dramatic or constant, just a faint quiver in his right hand when at rest. Most people dismiss it as stress or caffeine, but a resting tremor is a hallmark early sign of Parkinson's disease, often emerging after years of silent progression. Henry also began noticing changes in his voice. Once confident and clear during lectures, his voice now sounded softer, occasionally monotone, and words dragged slightly. Early voice changes can be overlooked, yet they indicate the disease is affecting motor control beyond the limbs. Sleep became another subtle signal. Henry woke multiple times each night, sometimes thrashing or talking in his sleep. REM sleep behavior disorder often precedes Parkinson's, and these movements are a quiet warning from the nervous system. Other small signs began appearing. Occasional constipation, slight fatigue, subtle facial masking where his expressions looked less animated, and minor balance issues. Individually they seemed trivial. Together, they were a clear signal that the disease was quietly advancing. Henry's story reveals one shocking truth. Parkinson's often begins silently. The early symptoms, loss of smell, micrographia, sleep disturbances, voice changes, rigidity, subtle tremors, can easily be dismissed as normal aging, stress, or lifestyle effects. Yet recognizing them early can change the course of the disease. Patients who detect symptoms early can begin treatments, lifestyle adjustments, and exercise interventions that slow progression, preserve independence, and improve quality of life. If you noticed one or two of these subtle signs in yourself or someone you love, would you act immediately? Or wait, hoping it's nothing serious? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What if the body could speak to you, quietly sending signals of something serious long before the obvious symptoms appear? What if ignoring these whispers meant losing precious time? Time that could protect your independence, mobility, and quality of life. Henry Lawson had always trusted his instincts, but Parkinson's disease tested even his sharp observational skills. After noticing subtle tremors and changes in his handwriting, he began paying closer attention to his daily routines, discovering signals he had once dismissed. The first whisper came during meals. His right hand occasionally shook when holding a fork, small enough that his wife barely noticed. The tremor wasn't constant, but it was persistent, a classic early sign known as a resting tremor. This simple observation, if recognized early, can lead to a neurological evaluation that could change the course of the disease. Then he noticed stiffness creeping through his joints, not dramatic pain, just a subtle rigidity in his shoulder, wrist, and fingers. Reaching for books or adjusting his chair felt slightly more laborious than before. Many people write this off as aging, but rigidity is one of the earliest physical manifestations of Parkinson's. Early intervention, through targeted exercises and physical therapy, can maintain flexibility and prevent progression from significantly impairing daily life. Henry's sleep patterns offered another clue. He began experiencing vivid dreams with unusual movement, sometimes waking with bruised elbows or tangled sheets. REM sleep behavior disorder is often an early, overlooked indicator of Parkinson's, appearing years before overt motor symptoms. Recognizing this allows patients to consult neurologists earlier, monitor progression, and consider lifestyle strategies that improve safety during sleep. His voice changed next. Henry noticed it sounded softer during lectures, less animated, occasionally monotone. Early hypophonia, soft, weak speech, is a subtle symptom often ignored, but it reflects the disease affecting motor control in the vocal cords. Voice therapy and early speech interventions can preserve clarity and confidence for years. Digestive changes also began surfacing. Constipation, once intermittent, became more consistent. Many dismiss it as diet-related, but early gastrointestinal symptoms can signal disruptions in the nervous system, sometimes appearing years before motor symptoms. Awareness here allows for early lifestyle adjustments, improved nutrition, and better overall health management. Balance and coordination presented their own warnings. Henry tripped lightly on the carpet, stumbled on stairs, and felt an occasional unsteadiness walking across the hallway. These subtle postural changes are among the earliest signs of Parkinson's affecting movement control. Early physical therapy focusing on balance and gait can prevent falls and maintain independence. Henry also observed micro-expressions fading from his face. Smiles appeared smaller, brow movements reduced, blinking less frequent. Hypomimia, reduced facial expressivity, is a hallmark early sign, often noticed by others before the individual recognizes it. Being aware of these changes allows patients to adjust social interactions and communicate more effectively, even as motor symptoms progress. Even mood and energy offered subtle warnings. Henry felt brief spells of fatigue that rest couldn't fix, along with low-level anxiety and occasional irritability. Parkinson's affects more than movement. It impacts neurotransmitters like serotonin and norepinephrine, subtly altering mood long before tremors dominate attention. Early recognition allows for lifestyle adjustments, counseling, and support networks that improve quality of life. Henry's experience illustrates a critical lesson. Parkinson's begins silently. Each of these small changes, the tremor, rigidity, sleep disturbances, soft voice, constipation, balance issues, subtle facial masking, and mood shifts, are whispers from the nervous system. Individually, they seem minor. Together, they are a roadmap to early detection. Early recognition is not just academic. It changes outcomes. Neurologists can initiate medications that preserve dopamine function. Therapists can introduce exercises to maintain mobility, and patients can make informed lifestyle choices. Awareness gives control over progression, offering years of independence that would be harder to achieve if symptoms were ignored. Henry started keeping a journal, documenting each subtle shift. He tracked tremor frequency, sleep disturbances, handwriting changes, voice fluctuations, and fatigue levels. This documentation became a powerful tool for his healthcare team, enabling personalized interventions long before motor impairment became severe. If you noticed even 2 or 3 subtle changes, resting tremor, softer voice, constipation, or reduced facial expressions, would you act immediately, or hope it's nothing serious? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And remember, if you want to uncover all the early warning signs of Parkinson's disease and how early detection can preserve independence and quality of life, subscribe to White Coat Secrets. Because listening to your body's whispers could give you years of strength and control that most people lose before realizing it's too late. Imagine noticing small, subtle changes in your body, tremors in your hand, softer speech, restless nights, and realizing they are not random, but warnings of Parkinson's disease. Now imagine that the actions you take today could slow progression, preserve independence, and protect your quality of life. Henry Lawson had spent months documenting every subtle shift. Tremor, micrographia, rigidity, sleep disturbances, reduced facial expressions, constipation, fatigue, and mood changes had slowly revealed themselves over time. These were not mere annoyances. They were signals, whispers from the nervous system, telling him to pay attention. The question was no longer what is happening, but what can I do to fight back? The first step was exercise. Henry learned that aerobic activities like brisk walking, swimming, or cycling boost blood flow to the brain, improving dopamine function. Resistance training strengthened muscles and joints, maintaining mobility and preventing falls. Even small daily routines, stretching in the morning, climbing stairs, or yoga for flexibility, had measurable benefits. In Parkinson's, early physical activity preserves motor function and slows progression. Next, Henry focused on nutrition. He emphasized foods rich in antioxidants, berries, leafy greens, and nuts, to fight oxidative stress in the brain. Omega-3 fatty acids from fish supported neuronal health, and high-fiber vegetables helped combat constipation, one of the early signs of Parkinson's. He learned that the gut-brain connection plays a vital role in Parkinson's, so diet became a powerful early intervention tool. Hydration, balanced meals, and timing food intake to match medication schedules further optimized his daily function. Sleep, once taken for granted, became another battlefield. Henry experienced vivid dreams and occasional thrashing, a sign of REM sleep behavior disorder, an early warning of Parkinson's. He created a strict sleep routine, consistent bedtime, dark and quiet bedroom, gentle stretches, and limiting late-night screen exposure. Improving sleep quality enhanced daytime alertness, energy, and cognitive clarity, helping him stay ahead of symptoms. Voice exercises became part of his daily routine. Reading aloud, practicing articulation, and performing pitch exercises strengthened his vocal cords. Early intervention in speech helps prevent soft, monotone speech and maintains communication skills, which are essential for teaching, social interactions, and confidence. Henry also focused on fine motor exercises. Writing, typing, and finger dexterity drills helped maintain control over his hands, countering micrographia and subtle tremors. These exercises may seem minor, but they preserve independence in daily tasks like cooking, writing, and using devices. Mental health was equally important. Parkinson's subtly impacts mood and cognition. Henry joined a support group, practiced mindfulness, and engaged in mental stimulation activities like puzzles and reading. Addressing emotional health early enhances resilience, improves adherence to lifestyle interventions, and supports overall well-being. Henry's journal became a critical tool. By tracking tremor frequency, handwriting changes, sleep patterns, and fatigue, he created a personalized record for his healthcare team. This documentation allowed for tailored strategies, ensuring every exercise, therapy, and diet adjustment was optimized for his unique needs. Over time, Henry observed tangible improvements. Tremors were manageable, rigidity lessened, balance improved, and mood stabilized. His story demonstrates an essential truth. Early detection transforms Parkinson's from an inevitable decline into a manageable condition. By listening to subtle bodily signals and acting immediately, patients can preserve years of independence, energy, and quality of life. Now, here's the part that could save you or someone you love. The 10 early warning signs of Parkinson's disease that everyone should recognize. Subtle resting tremor. A faint shaking in the hands or fingers at rest. Micrographia. Handwriting becoming smaller and cramped. Rigidity. Stiffness in the muscles, joints, or limbs without pain. Loss of smell. Difficulty detecting odors, even familiar ones. Sleep disturbances. Vivid dreams, restless nights, or REM sleep behavior disorder. Soft or monotone voice. Reduced volume or expression in speech. Constipation or digestive changes. Early disruption of gut function. Balance and coordination issues. Slight tripping or unsteadiness while walking. Hypomimia. Reduced facial expressions, smaller smiles, or less blinking. Mood changes and fatigue. Unexplained low energy, irritability, or anxiety. If you recognized even one or two of these early warning signs in yourself or someone you love, would you act immediately, or wait, hoping it's nothing serious? Every day counts, and early detection can change the trajectory of the disease. Drop your answer in the comments below. And don't forget, if you want to learn more about the early warning signs of Parkinson's disease, practical lifestyle strategies, and how early detection can preserve independence, subscribe to White Coat Secrets. Listening to your body's whispers today could save years of strength and control tomorrow.